Welcome to Conven Castle, my first full-size or close to full-size castle that I've ever built, and as you may come to find out, it was inspired by a real-life castle by the name of Conwy in the country of Wales. But this is my showcase of it, finally, after joining the server 2 years ago. I decided to do a little showcase. I deem the castle as finished as it can be. Honestly, I don't think I would get it much better than this. So yeah, this is my first beta build showcase, and I hope you enjoy. What this little hall is for, you'll find out in due course. So firstly, this is the castle entrance. It has two roses in front of it. I'm not sure why there's a piece of glass here. I believe it's something I just put on. I can't even remember why. I just did it when I was first building the gate, and I thought, why remove it? Because it's glass, you know. There's no way to get it back, so I might as well just leave it there. I might change that someday, somehow, but for now it will stay like a little artifact. So we come in here, and this is the yard of the castle, the inner yard. We've got a little garden here, first of all, to the left, with a well and some flowers, some pumpkins, the old oak tree that isn't very spectacular, but I think it looks nice like this. Of course, we have the centerpiece of the courtyard, which is the fountain. I tried to design it myself, and I tried to have it like, if you imagine those are like pieces of a statue maybe jutting out of the water, but I don't know. I could make it better at some point, but it has some lapis blocks, it's got some tiles, some glowstone, and a piece of gold on top. Oops. A piece of gold, like a block of gold, that you can't really see because it's in water, so it's a bit useless, but that's okay. So before I go on to the rest of the courtyard, I just wanted to explain a bit more about the lore of the castle and its owner. So the way I imagine it is there's some sort of baroness that lives in the castle, someone living in very peaceful times where there's no war to be expected, no attacks to be expected, which is the reason the castle is so unprotected at the front. But, you know, obviously it has watchtowers, so they could be used for either counterattack or watching. The point is, it's peaceful times, so the main of the castle is to have beauty and to be nice to look at, not really a fortress. Firstly, let's go to the inner bit, the living quarters of the Baroness. In here, the way I've done it is by doing this 1x2 piston door. Now, I was going to do a 2x2, but there was already so little space in this bit. You can see like this corridor is low-key abysmal, so I had to do a smaller version, even if that itself is also quite big. I took the design from BoxBlair, who is such a redstone wizard and also a very respected member of the beta Minecraft community, so I definitely check him out for tutorials like these. But anyway, we come over here to the left of the main door, and here we've got a little, you could say it's like a dining room or a meeting room, with a fireplace. I gotta say at first that the carpet was looking much better when it wasn't covered completely by this table, but it looked way too empty when I was building it, and if I'd left it without something in the middle, it would have been very depressing and lonely. So this is a table. it fits 6 people. You could like fit a few more chairs, I suppose. But in my mind as Baroness, she likes to host dinners, but she's not like a very party-oriented person. She's more like more of a bookworm, if you will. And so if you come in here into her bedroom, with a very big bed, you see she's got a little reading nook with a chair and her library. The only one in the castle. Or is it? We'll find out soon. If, she's very strong, so she uses ladders, not stairs. This is definitely part of the lore and not just a justification. Oh shit, I think there's a cow. Or a sheep. Anyway, and if you come up here, you have a little... Oh, one sec. So up here you've got a little area where the Baroness and her guests may sit down to have a little tea, play a board game or something I suppose, and sit in one of these chairs, just relax and talk and look out over the courtyard as the market's bustling or something like this. Unfortunately that means that her guests are also going to have to climb the ladder, but in my mind they're all very capable of doing that. Over here she can step up and look out into the horizon, the forest. It's quite bare at the moment, like I was planning to add some more buildings over here, make it more lively, maybe like a little village, community, or maybe an extended market. But in any case, this is just the castle tour for now, so this will come in due time. This is the fireplace. It's very basic, kind of ugly, but honestly I didn't have much space, and I kind of like how it turned out, how basic it is. It's quite cozy. I really like the vibe of this room, especially with the gold. This time you can actually see it's gold, not like the fountain, which is quite cool. So you come over to this door. Again, it's quite compact, but she's used to it, I suppose, confined spaces. And over here you've got a little workbench for her, in case she needs to do some work, some documents, some crafting, because it's a crafting table, obviously. And then again you've got the ladders. And over here you've got perhaps the most important bit of her quarters, which is the lavatory. So if you've seen like medieval castles, in particular in England and Wales, because that's where I usually go to see them, there is this like angular hole out to the outside from a castle where people can go to the toilet. Usually they didn't have a door. Sometimes they even had like those types of lavatories in the dining halls. But in this case, like, the Baroness prefers a bit of privacy. So this is the hall that I showed from the outside. And she's got a little painting. Yeah, I'm really glad I included this. So we go up here, and this is also a really nice bit. So in my imagination, she's also quite fond of gardening, which is why she has a garden in the courtyard, but also this little bit of hers with some flowers, some trees, and again, a really nice painting. So she comes here to look out onto the window and to the sea and just daydream and take care of her flowers. Or at least that's what I imagine. And then she's got this own personal tower where she can also come and look out and see in all directions and see this random house that someone built close to me, which is quite nice. I don't mind. It's nice to have neighbors. But yeah, this is the living quarters of the Baroness. She doesn't have a name, by the way, but I am thinking of giving her one, just for the sake of the lore. So I come out here from her dining hall, and there's like a little treasure chest here that I wanted to include because I didn't know what else to put. So this is where she keeps her stuff. her most prized treasure. She's got some gold, some iron, and a sword in case she needs to defend herself in emergencies. A couple books lying about, and a cookie that I got as a gift, which I thought would be fun to put in here, because it's cute, and I didn't have anything else that was interesting. I do have some diamonds, but I low-key need them, so I won't put them in here. But yeah, I had to waste some resources for the sake of the lore. So now we'll come out of the living quarters, and I'm gonna talk about the markets. So we've got several little market stores, which I imagine would be bustling daily, and the people who are actually selling here, in my mind, will be these people that have workstations here. I've seen these types of things in real-life castles where there would be like workstations for the different people, like blacksmiths or woodworkers, stonemasons. So over here, in this little bit, we've got a blacksmith bit, got some lava, which has to break the glass for every single time, and then put more glass on. That's part of the lore. Got a little iron block, working bench, and some furnaces with saplings, which is the most efficient fuel source, obviously. So that's that one. And then we've got a railway person. So I haven't actually built any railways yet. I do have a big mine pit where I'm digging out like a big hole. So I think I'll do like a railway too there from the castle. But so far he's just like preparing the stuff, I suppose. I've got a little minecart to illustrate and some powered rails, which I think works out quite nicely the way they're split like this. And then over here we've got the redstone worker. He's got the piston powered up from two sources, just for redundancy, I guess. Some buttons on the side, a showcase, and a retranslator. Is that what it's called? Over here we've got the little bread farm for bread. Before I go into that, this is the stonemason bit. So we've got some different types of slabs, stairs, those stone things, and some pressure plates. So really most of what can be made in Minecraft from stone in this version. And there's also like a stone wall behind him, like behind everyone else, which he didn't build, but it adds to the charm, I think. The only thing I don't like with this bit is the fact that it lacks contrast a little bit because everything's grey. So I tried to add this wood to compensate for that. In any case, I think people get the idea. So yeah, and then finally we've got the final workstation, which is the farmer. So he's got a little sample here, which he uses to perfect the wheat. And as you can see, he's really succeeded. It looks really nice. It's got a little sapling because that's another type of plant that I could find, and a little flower, and his workbench. And obviously he made this farm. Now, a really cool trick that I found out from a YouTuber whose name evades me right now, but I'll put it up on the screen, is that if you put fences underneath your crops in Minecraft beta, at least 1.7.3, then they won't break if you walk over them or if mobs walk over them. And that was like my biggest concern when I was planting the sweet field. And then I found the video. I was like, dude, you're a godsend. So the person who I was talking about, thank you so much for doing that. But yeah, so that's the courtyard, and the way I imagine it is every one of these workers would sell stuff here in these little market stores. And yeah, that's about it for the workers. Over here I've got my chests of stuff, and over here I've got what would be an animal pen, if I could farm animals in this version. I don't know what else to put on here. Maybe like at some point. Oh, that's nice. Maybe like at some point I can extend the chests because I'll probably need it, but for now I think I'll keep it like this. And it's also nice because it has a covering of this little walkway. I've always liked walkways in castles like this, so I just wanted to include one because I think it's pretty cool. And up here you can also walk. Maybe I can put something. Yeah, see, the pig isn't breaking up. Maybe I can put something on here, but I'll think about what. And here you've got like a tree just because it's cool. And yeah, that's basically the courtyard. So what I'm gonna do is go into the towers. So over here, that's the front bit. If you come up to... I'm actually gonna take it from the bottom. If you come up from here, and you go up the tower, then on almost every floor you've got this little living station for the people who would theoretically fight for the castle. Now I said those are peaceful times, but it does help to have a plan if anything happens. So over here there's some string line about and a sword for the soldier who would live here, and then similar thing over here. Some food as well. So I tried to like both include stuff in here that would kind of make sense. I wanted it to be chaotic, but also kind of logical. But I also didn't want to waste too many materials, so there is an awful lot of stuff here. And because these two towers, the ones made of stone, are more central and they actually have like windows out to the port and to the area in front, you've got bows and arrows here, because they would be arrow men. Similar to here, this tower. And if you go up, then you can see more of the front. It's quite nice. Lots of mobs. Oh, that's one thing. Maybe the soldiers are protecting against the hostile mobs. So this is another nice viewpoint. And it's basically the same on the upper floors. Over here as well, we've got like a wooden sword this time. Maybe because the guy is further back, he doesn't really need a stone sword. And similar thing with the tower over here. Got some flint and steel, axe. And yeah, that is for the front bit of the castle. I am quite proud with how it turned out. I'm really pleased with the lore that I kind of conjured as I was building it. Because I started kind of aimlessly, but I think it turned out pretty well, especially once I locked in and actually decided to finish it. Over here you can kind of see the small towers that I tried to take from the actual Conwy castle. They were kind of hard to build within Minecraft in a way that would give them some more contrast from the grey of the stone, and I thought some flaming towers would be quite nice. I won't really talk about this bit yet, the bit behind. As you can see, this cuts off, because that will be a little surprise. And just a little interesting fact is one of my neighbours over there has built a big pyramid. You can kind of see the outline of it, which is quite nice to see. Again, I do like having people around me. So we've seen the front bit of the castle, the courtyard, and we've seen all the market stalls and the crafting stations. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 market stalls and only 5 crafting stations. Now why would that be? Well, if you come over to this little corner and in this tower and you look over, you'll see a secret little door. So what could there be behind a secret door? I really like it when it's on low fog like that. So my idea for this bit was that the castle has a secret wizard, and this wizard does his work and lives in this bit of the castle. So he has a secret little forest with tall trees that block the sunlight, and he's got tons and tons of mushrooms. Actually, I did place only like a few, just for the ambience, but they started spreading because it's so dark. So now he has a fuck ton of mushrooms, and honestly, why not? Like, he probably needs them for his potions. And over here he has the only nether portal on the entire premises. Because he's oh my god! That should not have scared me as much as it did. So he's the only one allowed to use it. Over here he's got a bit of a sample from the nether, the soul sand. And if you come over here, into this little bit here, you can see a little secret entrance or exit from the castle, which in my mind the wizard uses to do a bit of contraband, you know, like he needs certain ingredients and he needs a way to get them in unnoticed. So this is where people come and give it to him. It's a bit of a security risk, obviously, but he knows how to zap people who might try to enter here uninvited, so I wouldn't be too concerned. So up this tower, he's got a little experiment bit. He's got the soul sand with a mushroom, empty chest because I was too lazy. And up here, we've got his little library. This will be expanded. It will probably get like a little chair and more books. And he's got a little bed to sleep in, because even he sleeps sometimes. And over here, obviously, he's got like a little viewpoint. I like the fog like this for the wizard bit. I'm not going to change it right now. I'm quite proud of this idea, because I remember I tried to... I built this little separate courtyard to make it look a bit more like the Conwy castle that I was talking about. But then I didn't really know what to put in here. And I watched a video by a YouTuber called Mongster, who's made a really cool Beta 173 like film, where he did a commentary on it and talked about how he built these tall trees and made like a little forest of them, and it was super dark, especially like with the fog down. Like I really like the effect of the fog kind of getting dark if it's dark where you are, and this was like the vibe it created. I really liked it, and so I decided to build a forest like this here. Then I thought, what could I do with it? And of course, because it's so mysterious and kind of magical, a wizard was the best idea. But yeah, lots of mushrooms, lots of mood, lots of vibe, and a little pond here that he can use for his potion water. And over here, he's got like a little workstation again, and some furnaces, again an empty chest because didn't know what to put in there, and of course like another tower over here. Just gonna go to one of the bigger towers over there. This is what it looks like. It's got the fire, and you can look out onto the castle like this. So the way I imagine it is sometimes he comes over here and he casts spells on the castle and the surrounding land for health and prosperity and peace and riches, or something like that. He does dabble in dark magic, but only for good purposes, obviously. I've also got this little thing in my head about him kind of having a little secret affair, maybe, with the Baroness, but I haven't ironed out the details yet. Might write the fanfiction about it and then update you all. So as you could probably tell, there isn't much surrounding the castle, but there are a couple of things that I have built and I'm thinking of expanding the area. So first, as you come out, you've got this little path that leads to a little port that you might have seen. I already showed it from one of the towers, and a little sugarcane farm. Now, there's a little bit of lore behind this port as well. There's this very old can't remember which version it's in, or what year specifically it's from, but there's this very old film-like video about Herobrine called The Haunting of Herobrine or something like this, and it was made by a YouTuber. It was something about Half-Life for some reason, and it is very it's a product of its time for sure, and it's very charming for that. I love it. And so a little Easter egg here is the fact that I tried to imitate the same port that they have in the video, like the main character of the video. I even filmed it in the beginning with like a creepy vibe or something like that. And I don't know what it has inside in the video, but I thought a crafting table would do. And yeah, except the fact that it's a bit bigger, there isn't really much else that differs. I tried to be as accurate as possible. Obviously it has boats because it's a port, and this one went to the ass end of nowhere because that's what they do in beta. And just over there, this is something that I filmed at the start of the video. There's also some lore presented. I'm gonna go to it now. So you can already distinguish them. There's two Herobrine pyramids, and in that film that I mentioned, The Haunting of Herobrine, the main character and the cameraman actually go out from the port on boats, and they find these two pyramids, or a few pyramids, I can't remember, which baffle them, obviously, because they are not familiar with the creepypasta lore. And yeah, I just thought it would be something nice to include, like a little Easter egg about something from my childhood or early teenagehood. Just a little reference to something that used to bring me joy, and it still does, but in another way. You come out over here from the port and you go towards Conven Castle. We've got the sugarcane farm, and obviously a gravel path because I am not very creative. And I have to say, even if it's not the best thing ever, or not even close to it, I'm very proud of this because I kept putting it off and I kept stalling on building it, and then one day I was like, yeah, I'm gonna build this, and I did. And I feel inspired to build more. I think, as I already mentioned, I'm gonna add some things to surround it, maybe like little houses, maybe like a fisherman's hut, although that port is kind of already something like this. But yeah, I'll think about how the lore might be expanded. Some things I would change in the castle. Firstly, as I already mentioned several times, it's a castle that was built and is being lived in during peaceful times, but realistically, at some point maybe I would like it to have some more defense. So I was thinking of building a moat around it, maybe a drawbridge, and even if it's kind of like real life accurate and I think it's really cool to include it, I don't think having a lavatory literally like on your outer walls exposed like this at the front of your castle is very wise. So maybe I'll do like a moat and then like another shorter wall around it, something like this. Maybe I do something with the towers. Like, it was inspired by a real life castle where there is no like color on top of the towers, but at the same time I feel like it should evolve a little bit. Maybe there should be something to make it pop a bit more. Obviously I need to put some funky stuff in the wizard's chests. I think that would contribute quite nicely to the lore. And over here I think I want to add some more things. So I think it's looking nice, but maybe stuff on the walls. Maybe like, I don't know, expand it a little bit somehow. I'll think about it. And maybe add some more stuff to the bedroom as well. I'm very glad that I finally sat down and decided to film this. I haven't made a video in a while. Not only because no one watches them, which is understandable because they're ass, but also just because there hasn't been anything to do it for. But now that I've got this pretty much finished, at least on the inside and like the port and all that, I felt like it would be nice to do a video where I also talk about it and explain a bit about how it works and what the story is behind it. Last but not least, and I have to do this by hand like this. So this is the entrance to my mine and the big pit that I'm trying to dig at the moment, and this is very important to show because it took a lot of time even so far and it's nowhere near finished, and I'll be damned if I don't brag about at least this progress that I've done. We've got a little lava pool, bit of a health and safety risk, and over there it goes down to Y12 and the works. So yeah, this is the whole of my base, including its secret pit, and I will probably make another video on it once I've updated lots of stuff, which will take ages, and in the meantime I may or may not do my usual alpha videos where I don't use my voice, because I'm not used to it, and I do feel like the captions of those videos are kind of nostalgic and kind of fun. But yeah, more to come, I hope, and if not, then that's okay. Hope everyone has a good time watching this, and peace.